Welcome back to Legacy of Kain Defiance. Last time we got out of the cemetery and let's go to the pillars. Hehe, but I never said that we would go there as Raziel. Also, this is one of the few chapters in the game that does not start off with a cutscene. And one thing that is kind of strange here is that you never really get an explanation of why a particular type of enemy is present in a particular location. For example, why are there all these Seraphim here? We do not know that. So let's inspire some hate. Yes, this is why the flame elemental enhancement for the Reaver is aligned with the Pillar of Conflict.
Balance emblem. Flame. Cadaverous laceration. Sanguine censure. Infernal sundering. How strange to see this place long before my birth. Centuries before the corruption set in that would poison the land and put me on the treacherous path I still followed. In the future, these edifices would be condemned to darkness and decay. I would cause their fall and build my empire upon their ruins. Was it still possible that with the right knowledge, the right moves, I might one day see Nosgoth restored, the pillars pure once more? My answer, according to Mobius, lay somewhere to the west of this place. I could restore the world, perhaps, but never again could I give Nosgoth back her innocence.
Giving Nosgoth back her innocence is a metaphor for something. I have no idea what for, honestly. But, yeah, we have Kain's motivations that is actually to restore Nosgoth. And don't miss this health talisman. Really, just don't. And this little scientific experiment proves to us that the only entity in Nosgoth capable of swimming is Raziel. Which makes Raziel the most powerful entity in all of Nosgoth. Now, I said last time, well, in the last video, that Kain's sections are shorter than those for Raziel, and I said that I don't know why. I thought about it, and actually I know why. The reason is elemental temples. Thing is, even though both Kain and Raziel visit them all, Raziel has to stay for a prolonged period of time in each and every one of them, whereas Kain only really has to... Basically, Kain only really has to stay for a long time in 2 of them. Because Kain's 2 out of 5 elemental powers, they are found in elemental forges, and for Raziel it's 6. So yeah, 2 versus 6. Plus one of Raziel's chapters is the longest chapter in the game. And this is me trying to do an infernal sundering until I finally succeed. Yes, this overhead slash. This. Yes. This is infernal sundering, and yes, you can chain it indefinitely. But the problem is that these combo attacks are a little difficult to execute because they require you to press a directional key and then immediately within a split second follow it by an attack key. So It does not always work like that, and conversely, it sometimes works when you don't want it to, when you're just trying to move or change your direction of attack. And I have no idea what I'm attacking here. And that was an absolute and utter waste. I tried to get the ones on the upper floor of this little ruin here to attack each other, but this did not work. Apparently inspiring hate only works in a horizontal plane, which makes no sense because it's supposed to be magic. Like primordial magic. The basic aspect of everything, of existence, conflict. Why is conflict a basic aspect of existence even? Okay, whatever. It's funny how these projectiles that the sorcerers throw at you, they're so slow and lazy and you can easily dodge them. It's entertaining. At times. To watch. Not to play, really. And that last guy can just stay there. I couldn't care less what happens to him.
My path ended here, offering only this empty vista. Was this another of Mobius's little jokes? Or a puzzle, for which I had not yet found the answer? Stone disc.
And this is where the sadness of Defiance level design kicks in. Because it's really sad. The problem is that just about all levels in Defiance are designed in a way that the levels themselves are not very big, with one exception. But you have to just walk around the level back and forth from one end of it to another, and then back again. 3-4 times per level, and finding different items that just unlock doors each and every time. And it is quite irritating, really irritating, because you are, by the end of the level, you are sick of the level itself, because it's just the same environment over and over and over and over again, which you, and the only intermissions are these enemies, which themselves are very repetitive. And yeah, that is quite frustrating. Unfortunately, the Soul Reaver / Defiance team of Crystal Dynamics never managed to nail the gameplay, although none of this is anywhere as bad as Blood Omen 2. You can't do this in Blood Omen 2, or in Soul Reaver games for that matter. But you can do it in Blood Omen 1. Although, to be honest, I never managed to quite get the grasp of the range of the Inspire Hate power. Or any elemental power for that matter. Oh, by the way, these are swordsmen. They deal a lot of damage. Don't get hit by them. Don't. And now we are continuing our backtrack, because there will be nothing, absolutely nothing of interest until we get to the, well, to where we want to get. Luckily, it does not take very long, but this is because the Pillars is a very short chapter, it's a very small level by design, so it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get a lot worse. And these Seraphim are a nuisance, so I'm gonna cut most of it out. that was the only part worth seeing or listening to. So I left that in. By the way, did I ever comment on how Kain can light braziers with his TK and they function as switches? Yeah, this is just Kain's variety of switches. Yeah, they're back. I complained before about how they're back. I'll keep complaining about how they're back. Because most puzzles in the game are ultimately switch puzzles. Sometimes well-concealed ones, I'll give it that, but... yeah. Well, nobody ever said that Defiance was an exemplary of great gameplay. It's just better than the other Legacy of Kain games. Which isn't saying much. See the light door up there, which is no longer in the field of view? Yeah, that's an indication that we will be here as Raziel too. Kain cannot open it, and Kain in fact cannot even get to it. Also, don't miss this TK rune. And now a sequence of jumps that everybody hates and that I never really have trouble with.
Another fragment of the balance emblem. This one endowed with the properties of dimension. Perhaps this would reveal the mystery that lay west of the pillars, if Mobius spoke the truth, and there was indeed something there to find. Dimension.
So yes, this is the first artifact that is clearly, that is obviously aligned with a pillar, because now we see that balance and dimension are aligned with their pillars, and flame is just kind of out of the loop, is the weird one. And it's well, as I said before, it's just the development problem, because they planned to have a fragment of the balance emblem per each pillar, but had to cut some of them out. So yeah, instead of fire we have flame, and instead of energy we'll have a different elemental upgrade. And that was how the dimension power works, and to be honest, it's something that has potential to be the most fun one, but I never quite mastered it, and I don't even know if it's my fault or if it's the game's fault. I have no way of knowing that. So what was I going about? Something about balance emblem. Yeah, development, something. Okay, let's talk about the balance emblem itself instead. It's actually never explained anywhere in the game what the hell the balance emblem is, how it originated, where it's from, and it's just kind of similar to Mobius' stuff, because nothing is ever really established, even though it's very clear what it is that it does. And the balance emblem is supposed to be an ancient vampiric artifact that is aligned to, well, the river and to the pillars and to the binding somehow. Although it's really kind of vague and hazy and not clear at all where it's from and what it is for in the big picture. So yeah, this is literally the third time we're going through this level. Yep. And this is how the entire remainder of the game is designed, and it's gonna really suck ass massively. You're going to hate it, trust me. Yeah, and this was a better example of how the dimension crowd control river charge power-up works. But still, I think it's a wasted potential. Are you tired of seeing this ruin? Because you're gonna see it more. I mean, gonna see more of this ruin. And yeah, this is where I get tired of of dimension. I don't know how to use it, and I don't think I ever will learn to use it. So I will stick to conflict. I'm sorry, flame. And of course, as soon as I get up, I get an arrow into my back, and then in my chest, and then I fall off. And then I jump around frantically, trying to jump onto that pillar, because this is actually a camera angle. It's one of the worst camera angles in the game. The only saving grace of that camera angle is that missing a jump does not equal death. Because there are some difficult jumps that you have to make in order to live. I mean, unlive. In order to keep living your vampiric unlife. And this sucks ass, because apparently Seraphan know how to use the Hilden gates. So the Seraphan and the Hilden are in league. Oh my god, it's Blood Omen 2 all over again. No, 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 no. Are you sick of Seraphan yet? Because I am. Thankfully, I have a remedy. And that is... hatred. And this will be the end of the level, actually.
The mist that shrouded this lake miraculously now cleared away, revealing an ancient citadel. So Mobius had not lied. Or perhaps this was simply another of the time streamer's illusions, meant to slow my true endeavor.
And this is it. Thank you for joining me. Next time we'll go to the pillars. You didn't think we'd get out that easily, did you? Goodbye.